So hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Let Her Create. And today we are back at it in the layer effects menu. And I stumbled upon this because I was making some stickers for a retro theme somebody had commissioned before, and I watched several tutorials on how to get the multiple effects in Affinity Designer. And I mean, easy enough. You would think that you just add an outline and add an outline and add an outline. And of all of the creators that I watched and all of the tips, that is what I saw them do. And those are great. There are videos out there for that already if that is what you're looking for, to add an additional outline around your text. And in fact, I will kind of show you what that looks like. Don't worry about my background for this project. I'm all over the place making things and just seeing how they look. And the artboard for this one really isn't, it really doesn't matter. But I have a photo, I have a curves adjustment layer, and then I have my actual color. So in fact, I will turn off that layer so it's not so distracting. I was kind of distracted by that. And apparently I have it, yeah, more than once. Okay. So on each of these groups, you see that it has a layer effect to it. And a thing about Affinity Designer is that you can add multiple effects if you know the trick, and that is to group the object and then add the other effect on top. Have you ever done that? No, never. Well, let's see what that looks like. So I'm just going to type out ABC to save time, and this will be the word that we work with. So here you see it all plain, and I want to add an outline to the layer. Now I can easily come to the top into the stroke panel, and I can add an outline, and that can be that. But what you see happen is that my outline is running away from my project, and that has a lot to do with the settings that I have for my line. Okay, and because this is in inches and not, excuse me, my document is in inches and not pixels, so this is running all over the place. The line stroke should actually, it's better measured in pixels, because if not, then it does this. But my artboard is set to a particular size, and you can easily adjust that inside of the layer effect. So let's put this at around 15 pixels. That way we still have an outline and you can see it. And you can also adjust where your stroke is on the line. That way it's sitting, the alignment of your stroke. That way you are actually looking at it how you should see it. So I have my outline, right? And this should be fine. But let's say I want it to have an expanded appearance. I won't be able to do that with inside this panel. So I know if I go into the layer effects panel, they have an outline menu. And as soon as you toggle it on, you are met with the color black. So you can adjust it, and here you have your outline, and it's covering, it is outlining appropriately. But I want to add another color. So I'm going to step out of here, and instead of just trying to continue to add the outline, I'm going to group it this time. And I'm just going to click OK, because I have mine set to prompt me to make a name when I make groups, because it helps me keep my files streamlined and it helps me keep everything together. If you don't have that feature turned on, it's okay. You don't need it. But for me, it's nice to have. So now that I am back outside of my group. I have my group set. And now look, I can add another line. I can add another outline, and I can control the weight of the pixels. And I'm going to come out of there. And let's say, so when I ungroup it, my effect is gone because it's already been applied. So there is a tip on how to get the effect to duplicate on one object or on one thing you have selected. So I'll turn it on again, and as soon as I get ready, now I'm not done. I am not done. I want to add more outline to this group. How can I get that done when I know that if I can't regroup it and add it again because it's just going to come out of the group. So let's ungroup and turn this off, and let's turn off the layer effect. And something that I was able to surmise when I was doing this test was that I'm going to use my outline, but instead of just using the outline, I'm going to close that panel. I'm going to change the outside of my line. I'm going to change what my line is doing here at the top. And you have additional menus in certain effects. I'm going to set that line to contour. And you see automatically what happened to it. It added a gradient. So to navigate and to get the look that I want, I'm going to add multiple effects by adding a gradient. So if you've never worked with the gradient feature in this way, it's a little interesting to learn. But we're just going to add our colors to it. I'm going to add however many dots of color that I want. So I'm going to select it, and then I'm just going to click another one. Okay. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to adjust the width of these lines. So let's say I want that to be my outer color. And I want this tight to the edge. Okay. And I'm going to add a couple of more and show you what this looks like. So I want to add that purple again. I want some more purple. So I'm just going to duplicate it. And let's get really wild. Let's add that yellow or that mustard color in here. I'm going to change it. And I now have the appearance of the retro effect without having to duplicate, and or group. I can change where my contour is coming from. So at first it was coming from the outside. Now it's coming from the center. And now it's coming from the inside. But that retro effect is definitely from the outside. And this is what the gradient looks like on it. And sorry about my screen is kind of haphazardly moving, but I think it is the weight of the effects that I have in this particular file. But I actually kind of like that. I want to undo. And I'm going to save this as a layer effect just because I like the color scheme that I came up with here. And I have been saving a style menu. I made one, and I have named it words. And these are the ones that I know off the top that I like. These are the styles that I know automatically look good on certain words that I'm typing and that I want to use again. And because I like that style with the outline as well as without, I went on ahead and I just saved it both ways, because if you watched my prior video, I showed you that you could that when you save in the styles menu, you save everything that is attached to that object. So the font, the color, the line weight, the effect, all of it is saved. Now, because this is the gradient and I still want to go back and make adjustments, I'm going to go back to my outline and I'm going to go back to contour, and it takes me back to my line. Okay, back to the line. And then if I want to bring this out, if I want to make it more prominent in the design, I can adjust the stroke of the entire effect. But do you see how you have that retro effect? And it may not be perfect or as segmented as the traditional route of adding it and then calculating how many times you would duplicate your outline per pixel. You could do it this way and save those contours out and use them over and over again. And again, because I know I like this style, I'm going to save it. I like the color scheme. I like everything that's going on. And I'm actually kind of surprised because this was just a happenstance. So I'm going to hit the back button because remember how sensitive this stuff is. And let's see if we can't add another effect. Let's add a 3D layer effect to it. And lately I've been really in love with this effects panel just because I think I finally took time to go through and see what all of the features do and actually have a better understanding for the iPad version. Now, I don't particularly have to have that 3D on there, but I'll save it anyway. And then if I decide that I don't like it, then I won't use it. But let's try a bevel and emboss. Let's see what that looks like with this same text effect. So there's definitely the bevel feature going on. And let's do the emboss. So let's take our embossing down and see what that looks like. So, I mean, even with that look, it looks really cool. So let's just save it. And it changes. So just a tip for you guys, you can easily add a multiple of outlines working within the layer effects outline panel using the contour feature. If you like this video, comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what else I can help you with in Affinity Designer.